This is the Book of Dad with Robert Benson, an upbeat weekly review of personal anecdotes, helpful tips, and communal chat about the ups and downs of parenting. Your host, Robert Benson, knows that being a dad is not easy, but this show is for all the dads just trying to do their best. Now, here's Robert.
Hey, welcome to the Book of Dad radio show. This is Dr. Robert Benson. As always, before we get started, we want to say thank you to Jehovah. Thank him for his son, Jesus Christ. Thank him for our families. Thank him for work and our ability to do the things we're able to do. It's the Book of Dad radio show, Life and Spirit Online, only on the NASCA Network. And, of course, I have my main man, Eddie G, hanging out. What's up, Eddie?
What's up, brother? How you feel today?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Thanks again for joining us, as usual. But, we try to have a good time and share some information, talk with talented people and all that kind of stuff there. But before we do that, I want to talk about this new movement I want to bring on. You interested?
I'll wait to hear what you have to say first.
There's a movement I want to start called the weaveless movement. You know, no women with weaves in their hair. What do you think?
I don't know, man. Yeah, you're not going to get me in that one.
Well, today we got a guest, a very, very intelligent, talented guest that's going to kind of talk to us about a movement that's very close to that. But I'm not going to steal her thunder. Let's welcome in and say hello to Miss Marilyn Faye, otherwise known as the Affirmation Diva. Hello, Marilyn. How are you?
Hello. Good evening, gentlemen. I am great. As I said before, I am better than amazing and glad to be on this call tonight.
Outstanding. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we are very, very excited about you joining us. But we'll get around later, a little bit later on, maybe in the next section, to talk about this movement that you're a part of. But right now, you are very, very popular in the area. There's a lot of stuff that you're involved in, and I want to talk about you. We want to get to know you a little bit and some of the things that you're into.
Okay, awesome. So where would you like for me to start?
Well, you were a small girl from Akron, Ohio. I mean, your kindergarten teacher used to read you Peter Pan and all that kind of stuff there. Is that what it was?
Well, yes, I am a native of Akron, Ohio, born and raised. I've been in Atlanta for 6 years now. Well, August, it will be actually 6 years since I moved here. And I decided to really take a leap of faith back in 2012. I was working in corporate America for about 6 years. I worked for a tool company in the financial service department. And I was actually making money at that time with a network marketing company and which allowed me to be able to replace my income working that business. And so I just decided that I was just going to take the leap of faith, put in my 2 weeks notice and move to Atlanta because I want to try something different. I have been doing theater and stage plays for years. I've been in theater for I did theater for about 14 years. And I wanted to really get out there and, just raise my horizon to different things as far as the industry. And so I came on a mission to really pursue my acting career, my performing arts. I love to perform. I'm a rapper also, so I've been rapping since I was about 14 years old. Oh. And since I had the money, oh, were you going to say something?
No, I just said, wow, that's impressive about being a rapper. But continue. I have some comments about that for sure. I'm sure Eddie G will as well.
Okay. And so I put in my 2 weeks notice in July of 2012. And in August 10th, I was on my way here to Atlanta. I packed up my son, who was 14 at that time, and we left on a mission. Now, things didn't really go as I had planned for them to go. Once I got here, I hit a little roadblock, and it was so funny because my employer at that time, before I left, they actually offered me more money to stay at the company, but I had a vision, and my faith was so much bigger than my fear. My employer even told me that, like, if things don't work out in Atlanta, you can always come back and get your job back. And I said, no, things are going to work out because I am not coming back to Ohio.
Well, hey, let me say this about that. I think it's admirable that you have the tenacity, if you will, not to chase money, but to chase the dream. I've heard it said so many times by people who are successful that once you stop thinking about money, then you start thinking about what it is that you really want to do. And then once that happens, then the money tends to come. And they say if you do what you love, you never work another day in your life anyway.
Absolutely. I agree 100% with you. And so it has been quite a journey. I'm still on it. But, I just, I was riding down the street the other day, and I pulled up at the red light, and I looked to my left, and there was the big truck that I worked for, the company, which was Matco Tools. I worked in the service, the financial service department, getting the guys approved for loans for their business. And so I looked, and that just gave me a reminder and it was just a humbling moment to see how far I've come, to know that, okay, this is where I started. I didn't have to go back. I didn't have to give up my dreams or turn back around. Even though things were tough for me, once I got here, I was just thankful because it just made me just really, really give thanks from where God has brought me from.
Well,
and it was,
what I was going to say, the thing I found interesting, I'm sorry for interrupting you. I didn't mean to do that. But
go ahead.
There's a number of people that we've talked to that have said that they've kind of gotten their roots in rap. And quite a few of successful, renowned entertainers now have their roots in rap. I'm just kind of wondering, and Eddie G, you can add into this or whatever, but what is it about rap or what is it that talented people see and want to become rappers, and why is it such a release, if you will, for most people and who have this other hidden talent to perform as rappers? I'm just kind of curious what your thoughts are on that.
Well, it was definitely a hidden talent for me. Again, I started when I was 14, but someone who was very influential in my life at that time was my brother, and he had a song that was, on the radio, and so I always listened to him. He could rap, he could write, he could produce music, and just growing up in that atmosphere, that's really what brought it on for me. Now, I like to write poems, and so that was something that I would do. I would just write a poem, and I would turn it into a rap. Back then, when I was younger, I was rapping about other things, the common things when you talk about sex and everything else. But now that I'm older and have been dubbed as the Affirmation Diva, I want my music to be influential in another way, where I'm getting people to think about speaking things into a positive manner, thinking things into existence, where, you think that you're speaking and you believe it, which is one of my songs. So my music will be different, but it will be very much so where people can vibe to it and will maybe think about investing, thinking about, their credit and different things like that. So it's more of inspirational empowerment to just get us thinking on a higher level.
Outstanding. Hey, well, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to get you to come back and expound a little bit more on that, and then talk about some of the other things that you have going on here that pretty much has you in the forefront of aspiring and successful young women here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. And Eddie G, I'm sure, will have his sprinkles as usual. This is Dr. Robert Benson, the Book of Dad Radio Show, Life and Spirit Online, and we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Erica Janae, and you're listening to Life and Spirit Radio.
The U.S. dollar will collapse. Learn why you should buy physical silver and gold. Order Dr. G's P3. Plan, prepare, protect. Visit www.ygliv.com or call 800-705-6840.
And we are right back as usual. Book of Dad Radio Show, Dr. Robert Benson with my main man, Eddie G. And we are talking to the Affirmation Diva, or her name really is Marilyn Faye, but AKA Affirmation Diva. She's got all these talents just kind of going all over the place like a bad hair weave. But maybe not a weave, because there's some other stuff going on about the weave thing we talked about before. But without me babbling on, I'm going to let Eddie come in and say what he, or ask a question about that. And we're going to find out a lot more about this affirmation diva.
Well, I didn't really have a question, but I had a comment on what Marilyn had said earlier about words. And you talk about rap, and, rap is a genre of words. And as Marilyn said, you can speak things into existence. And by her language, her positive attitude, and transferring all that into rap, into words, it sends that message out. And when people respond to what she's saying, they get inspired as well. And it helps them to follow their dreams. The things that she's putting out there is a message that's being absorbed. I just wanted to put that out there as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, and that's what rap does. Absolutely. Yeah.
And that it was really the purpose, the main reason, because I truly believe in affirmations, which we all know is just, you reaffirming the things that you want in your life, or you're working towards. So I do affirmations daily. I get up and do affirmations. I go to sleep listening to affirmations because I believe it's very, very important for you to watch the things that you put in the atmosphere. For instance, this is a great example of why it's so important. Some people say, well, that was just a fluke or this or that and other. But back in November, I was in a car accident where I got hit by a truck. And before I got into that accident, I had went and paid $800 on my car note to take my car note up so I wouldn't have to worry for a payment up until like February. So anyway, I went that day, that morning, paid that $800 on my car note. And before I left out for paying that payment, I said, well, it'd be just my luck. I done paid all this money on my car note that I get into an accident or something. Why did I speak that? I keep saying, why did you speak that into the atmosphere?
Yeah.
2 hours later, just 2 hours later, I was hit by a doggone truck. Now, I wanted to pay my, I kept saying I wanted to pay my car off, don't have a car note. This was going to be the year that I was, not going to be without a car note. Now, I don't have a car note, but that was not the way I thought I was going to be, rid of the car note. So it's just like, you got to be careful of what you say. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Let me say this though to Eddie, because I know Eddie has said this a couple of times. Eddie, why don't you say those 6 lottery numbers you've been trying to get into existence? So we can all be paid.
I've been saying them for the last 3 weeks, and I must be saying them wrong.
But affirmation diva, Marilyn, I've been reading up on you, and I'm taken back, impressed by a number of things that you're involved with. But one thing in particular that I really am interested in learning a lot more about, and I want you to talk to our listeners about, is this Baldy movement. Talk about this Baldy movement and what it means, and how you're actually using it as a catalyst, or maybe even an inaugural thing in the rap industry that you were talking about before.
Well, yes. So some may know or some may not know who's listening to this broadcast, I am completely bald. The Baldy movement was founded by my good friend, Nell Coleman, and she's here in Atlanta now. I'm originally from Tennessee, and she's bald also. But it was simply designed to celebrate and support and empower women and children to love themselves, more, even dealing with hair loss, because there are a lot of women who deal with different hair loss as far as, cancer or alopecia or psoriasis. And I was just one of the women who dealt with it for a very long time. I realized that my hair started coming out when I was, in my early 20s. And I had very long hair before I actually did the cut. My hair was like down my back. But the thing was, I still would have, because of the thinning, which I have alopecia that attacks the hair follicles. Mm-hmm. And it started with a quarter of my hair missing, and then it just eventually started growing out to where I had like a golf ball size spot in the middle of my head. So even though I had long hair, I still would have to put the weaves in, or get a piece at the top, sew it in. And so Neil actually added me to the group once she discovered I was bald. We've been friends ever since 2012 when I moved here. We did a film together called First Impressions, where we were like extras in a movie with David and Tamla Mann and a few other actors in the industry. And so that's how her and I met. And I decided to just do the chop. I had done it once before, and I let it grow back because I just wasn't really comfortable at that time. I wasn't really ready to reveal, it. And so what happened was a couple of weeks before the Black Panther movie came out, before I actually saw it, I had cut my hair. And what inspired me to really go ahead and do the chop is when I saw the video that went viral about Lauren Lulu Williams, where her wig was snatched off in school, and they tried to make a mockery of her. And so I was so inspired by her story. And once she cut her hair off, and I'm like, she's only 16. So she's only 16. She's a teenager. I'm a grown woman. So if she didn't have me through, why am I afraid to let the world know who I am? Because, God made me this way. We all have different battles, different struggles, but that's what makes us unique. That's what makes us different.
Yeah.
And so that really inspired me. So I did a video, and during the reveal of my hair, after I shaved it off, and dedicated that to Lulu in Tennessee, because I want to inspire and encourage other women that you are still beautiful. Your hair does not make you who you are, and you don't have to hide behind the wigs. You don't. So the group is all about is increasing, your self-confidence, your self-worth, and empowering our bald women to say it's okay to be different, it's okay to be bald. That was part of our roots anyway. All of our African women, mostly speak, they are bald or they are natural. And so you don't have to be, always, I don't wear a wig anymore. I refuse to wear a wig unless I'm doing a movie or something that requires me to do a wig. So when I do my new headshot, I may do a picture with a wig in for my headshots for acting. But other than that, most of my pictures will be me and who I am, completely bold, completely free to be me. Wow. Once I did that, it was just a relief, like a burden was taken off my shoulder. And I've received a lot of recognition, especially when the Black Panther came out. Oh my goodness, everywhere I went, they were like, "Were you in the movie? Oh my goodness, she's so beautiful. Do you model? Are you a model?" I was like, Lord, I said, no, I wasn't in the movie, but I'll be ready for part 2 when part 2 comes out. I'll be ready. So I think I'll probably be the first bald head rapper in the game, which is different from what you see, because a lot of women that we see, the only person that you really see who didn't rock the weave and different things like that was Lauryn Hill, who was really pretty much natural. And even, like Queen Latifah, but, a lot of women in the game wore wigs, weaves, and all that. So I want to be different. I'm not going to conform to anything else but who I am, and that's how I'm coming into the industry and knocking it out. Wow. As the bad body, blessed, anointed, and destined for greatness. and body, the acronym from body is beauty and love demonstrated in everything.
Wow. Hey, well, listen, that's a great point. And I just to kind of piggyback on what you're saying is that so much of how we feel it really depends on how we think we look. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this, but for right now, we're going to take a quick break. And I love that acronym, beauty and love demonstrated in everything. I mean, if we all thought that way, hey, the world would be such a nicer place, wouldn't it, Eddie G? But this is the Book of Dad Radio Show. This is the Book of Dad Radio Show. Life and Spirit Online, NASCA Network, and we'll be right back.
Are you struggling with debt collectors? Scared to answer the phone? Order Dr. G's Man Survival Kit and learn how to stop creditors. Visit www.ygliv.com or call 800-705-6840.
Hey, and we're right back. Dr. Robert Benson, Book of That Radio Show, Life is Spirit Online, only on the NASCA Network. And we were just talking about some very, very relevant topics. I was facetiously talking about creating a no-weave movement, but it really kind of led us into discussing this baldy thing. I mean, society is speckled and just colored, if you will, with so many different people who are so concerned about how they look. They're always looking for that different image, if you will. Most of your commercialism, most of the conditioning that you see in TV and movies has to do with hair. I mean, even from a male standpoint, I mean, me, once my hair got to be a certain, I should say, the texture wasn't as great on the top, I just got rid of all of it. So
right.
That was the easy thing for me to do. You know what I'm saying? So this baldy thing, I think, is profound. And I think it, as Marilyn has said, releases you. What do you think, man?
Well, being a bald person myself, such as you, all three of us, we are shining and shining and shining. I have to say, my daughter has a friend. Her name is Jessica, and she's a beautiful girl. And she did she sings as well. She did a music video, I think a year or two ago, and it talked about the insecurities that women have about themselves because of what society says is beautiful and what is not beautiful. And she made a decision to cut her hair off, all of it. And, what it did, it actually brought more of her beauty out. She is so beautiful and she stands out just like Marilyn. It makes you look so strong because it goes against the grain and it still allows your beauty to come through. So you really get to show who you are, and people stand up and they actually pay attention. So as you said, to be the first bald female rapper, it really makes you distinctive, and it makes people listen to what you have to say because you don't look like everybody else and you're unique.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great point. As I was saying before, I mean, it's just that in every genre, women are always trying to fit into what someone else thinks they're supposed to look like. And I think this baldy thing is great because, I mean, not only does it spin off on make your stance for who you are, but it's supportive of people who are bald for various reasons. Cancer, chemotherapy, and those types of things. I mean, it really is a therapeutic thought process, if you will, because there are some people who, whether they want to be bald or not, they have to deal with that situation. I have a sister who has had to have some chemotherapy, and when next time I saw her, she was bald, but she looked just like me, so I knew for sure that she was my sister. You know what I'm saying? And I love her to death, but I mean, this baldy thing is great because it smacks and it circles around so many different societal issues that you have to to deal with to make people feel just good about themselves and about who they are.
Absolutely, yes. With our group, whether you're bald by circumstance, bald by choice, we love and support all of our bald women and children, and we will not stop until every bald woman can look themselves in the mirror and truly believe that they are beautiful. So it's a great organization, and I recommend it to any woman who may be dealing with confidence or issues related to that, their hair loss problems. So definitely, they can reach out to us and join the movement with us as well.
And you know what? It's a step to take. As you said, it's a brave thing to do. I know, like Dr. Benson said, when I started to get thin up top, and I said, hey, look, I'm tired of fighting this battle. I'm going to cut this hair off. I remember when I did it, and I came home, and my wife looked at my hair. She looked at my head because it looked like the edge of a pencil. She was like, what? You know how light guys, you got to get some sun on that head, man.
Well, you went from looking like Larry to the pencil. I mean, which one was it? You know what I mean?
But, hey, look, after a while,
Too funny.
You get used to it, and every a lot of people say, "Man, I don't even remember you when you had hair." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not.
Yeah.
It's acceptable, and as Marilyn said, it's just you being you. So you just have to be able to. If you walk around with confidence, then that confidence it exudes from you. Like you said, Rob,
Yeah.
it's how you feel about it. If you feel ashamed, then it's going to come through every time you go outside.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Well, I can add. Let me add one more thing to that. Along with, and we're going to turn the mic back over to Marilyn. Is that, like, for instance, men? Some of us do it just to defeat the age look, if you will. I mean, because you start graying and those types of things there, and a lot of guys just cut it all off because they don't want to look as old as they normally are, or normally look. And that's just this other thing, because I guess what I'm saying is that it can have that reverse effect too. It's like, yeah, you're trying to still look young or whatever the case may be, but me, I just got tired of messing with it. So, but anyway, Marilyn. So you were talking about.
I'll tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you. For me, it saved me a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because I was going shopping for wigs like every month. I had to have a new one or weaves, and even just to get them top braided, you would still be paying the full amount. You may not know about how much weave cost, but it was pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm glad I did it, because when I did the initial reveal, it was so crazy, because I even had men actually reach out to me and inbox me on Facebook. And even some of my friends from Ohio called me and just said, "Wow, I didn't know you were going through this. You're so strong." I'm a man, and I felt self-conscious myself about when I was born bald. And it's like, you made me feel even more comfortable. I'm like hearing it from a woman, because women don't know the issues that men feel when their hair start going bald and different things like that. So it was just really, I got tons and tons of emails. Even a couple of ladies even cut their hair off.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
After they saw my video, they were moved to cut their hair off because they were dealing with the same thing, and it empowered them to do so. So that really just made my day.
Awesome. I can give you some funny stories about men, though, adjusting those hairdos, though. When you see a guy with a part down by his ears, and then and then the hair is flipped over the top. He's like, yeah. He's adjusting something there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, or he looks like he's from the Cotton Club or something.
No comment.
So, have you appeared doing any rap music with your hair bald yet? Marilyn?
I haven't yet, because actually I'm working on my very first album. Back then, I used to perform in clubs and everything like that, or work with different so-called managers. Right now, I'm funding my whole album, myself, basically my project. So I have a few songs down, and I'll just go on and just do like little videos where people can hear some of my music on my, Instagram or my Facebook page. But I haven't started performing yet. Maybe on my upcoming docu-series that I'm going to be featured in, that will be something that people will be able to watch as I really get my career off the ground, of me going into the studio, doing a song, and up to me doing my first listening party. So I'm really, truly excited. I'm really, truly excited about the doors that have been opened. A lot of them I feel have been open because of my look and me just being fearless, brave and fearless. I modeled in my first show here in Atlanta a few weeks ago.
Wow.
And I was asked to, and I hadn't modeled in years. I hadn't modeled in 12 years. Wasn't something that I was even really passionate about. I would just do little shows in Akron or something for a charity, but it wasn't something that I said, oh, I'm going to pursue or want to do. But that just opened up the door for something else. Now I have people asking to shoot me and do photo shoots of me because they like my look. I'm like, okay, Lord, anyway you bless me, I'll be satisfied. And so I'm just really excited.
All right, cool. Hey, well, listen, let's talk that. That's all about that brand, and I mean, in the proper brand can get you the proper look, the proper attention, and all those things. So, let's take another break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about a couple of things that you're involved in, namely the ATL Socially Lit, as well as Women on the Rise, and we'll get Marilyn to talk to us about those things and how to reach out to her and look at her stuff, and then we'll sum up. But this is the Book of That Radio Show, Life and Spirit Online, only on NASCAR Network. I'm Dr. Robert Benson. We'll be right back.
The U.S. dollar will collapse. Learn why you should buy physical silver and gold. Order Dr. G's P3. Plan, prepare, protect. Visit www.ygliv.com or call 800-705-6840.
Hey, and we're right back. Dr. Robert Benson with my main man, Eddie G. And, of course, Marilyn Faye, who is the Affirmation Diva. We've been talking about some great stuff here, but the one thing, I mean, before we go away, I want everybody to go away with one thought from this show. In addition, notwithstanding the fact that we're talking to a great performer, entertainer, and talented person, and of course, Eddie G being the great guy that he is, but be proud of who you are. What God gave you, he gave you for a reason. Those are your attributes. Don't try and shame yourself into being somebody that you're not. And that I think is the greatest message that goes along with this beauty and love demonstrated in everything. Just be who you are. I really don't think that anyone needs to go out of their way to be somebody else. And I think that a lot of this conditioning that we deal with is a culprit for the whole thing. But when we left off, we were talking to Miss Marilyn about the projects that she has going on. We're going to give her the floor back and let her tell us about those things.
All right, thank you. Well, I just finished shooting ATL Socially Lit, which is a reality series. And actually, how I met the cast was going through another audition for another show that I've just been recently cast for as of Thursday. And so it's reality. They do follow us around to see what's going on in our lives. It may be a little drama between the ladies, but, we come back and we really empower and uplift one another. So we have a sisterhood, and we just show that sisterhood and bond through ATL Socially Lit. How, all of us women can come together and be positive, and though we may see, different opinions, we still can love one another without bringing each other down. And so we just finished taping that. I don't know just yet when it's going to air because it's being shopped around for different networks, but I'm really excited about my upcoming project docuseries, Women on the Rise Atlanta. That is a Kathy Tell-All production. She is the producer of the show with Michael of Fort Media, who is the executive producer of the show. The show will be airing on VH1. So I'm so excited because it'll be able to showcase me and my different businesses and goals and things that I'm working on as far as like my nonprofit organization, which is Faye's Kids, which is KEDS, and that stands for Keys for Entrepreneurs, Destiny, and Success. And my mission with Faye's Kids is really to provide a safe environment for teens to transition from foster care into independent living. So we equip them with fundamental skills, keys of life skills and entrepreneurship, because I'm finding out that a lot of children, once they turn 18, they're being put out of the system, and some of them are left to be homeless out in the street, and then that opens up the door for them to get into things that they shouldn't, where, maybe they're robbing or getting out here on drugs, or maybe some ladies turning into, the strip club, or to find somewhere to be loved because they really didn't have that love at home or, that family. So I want to provide a home for them where we teach them about credit. We teach them about finances, get them really prepared, because they didn't do that for us in school, high school, didn't teach us about credit and all those things. So I don't know really if they're teaching that in the, in the system, in the home, the children's home as well. So that's something I'm very passionate about, starting my nonprofit organization for Faye's Kids, to one day own a home where they can come in and they can learn, and we can help them start building investment accounts teach them about entrepreneurship. So some of them come out and they start running their own business and maybe not have to work for anyone if that's what they so choose. So we'll be able to see some of that and hear some of that about, through my journey with Women on the Rise Atlanta.
Hey, let me ask you a question about your Faye's kids thing. I didn't know that the system had just kind of abandoned those children who were in foster care after they turned 18. There isn't a what organization are you working through to find out who those kids are? Because I know that a lot of identification information for minors is protected. And I'm just kind of wondering how you find out who those kids are.
I actually met the council, the district council of the Douglas School County Services.
Mm-hmm.
And someone put me in touch with him, and I'm going to meet with him to talk to him about the program because I had ran it by him, and he said it would be something he can help me. So he's like the superintendent of the county, the school district.
Okay.
And I'm going to work with him to get that information, to get help. So maybe I can even start going into the children's home and talking to them here and to see what we can do right now as I get the program going. So that's my goal. That's my vision, to meet with him and see how he'll be able to help me to get in that door of doing that and, meeting with the people that I need to speak with to get this mission off the ground.
I think that's a great initiative because there's, of late, I mean, we live in a society unfortunately, of greed and selfishness. And the fact that you want to get out there and help others, especially the ones that are extremely vulnerable at that point in their lives. I mean, because, someone turns off the faucet. I mean, it's like you're just going to dry up unless someone else shows you where some more moisture is, if you will. I think that's a great initiative.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm really passionate about it because I was also a foster child myself.
Oh.
Well, living in a foster home. And when my mother came up missing back in 1983. So that was just something I wanted to do to really give back to our children. I don't want anybody to be left behind. I don't want anybody to be, out here struggling or not given a fair chance at life because of their circumstance and not having the proper guidance. I think it's very important.
Yeah, that's awesome because I mean, I'm sure Eddie can share too. There's just countless accounts, if you will, of horror stories that children who are vulnerable to the system face constantly. I mean, I know of this is a case that was a couple years ago, and I don't want to shift the subject to anything negative because you are the affirmation diva. But there was this couple who severely abused children who were in their foster care. They weren't feeding them. They weren't using the resources to take care of the children they were supposed to use them for. As a matter of fact, one of the children were killed because they took something out of a refrigerator or something like that. It was just a horror story on all levels. Eddie, you can share some experiences with dealing with children in this vein too, correct?
Yeah, I mean, we had the NASCA education initiative that we ran for a few years, and what we did was we had, young people from high school, middle school, and they would come out and we would teach them media, TV, radio, music, and recording. And it started out as a program for teaching a skill, a workable skill. But what happens is when you interact with these young people, you become a part of their lives, and they start to tell you about, the things they go through. Because a lot of times what worked with the program was we related to the young people where they would tell us things they wouldn't tell their parents, because it was between us. But they also, some of them were raising each other. We had 3 sisters. One was in high school. The other 2 were maybe 9th or 10th grade. And she was actually raising them, which really, caught us off guard. But a lot of times this stuff goes on and you don't even know about it.
That's right. That's right.
So much out there that needs help. And that's why I really applaud Marilyn for what she's doing and what she wants to do, because somebody has to step up, because a lot of it you don't see. A lot of it you don't know about unless it comes out on the news, like you said about those stories. So we have to be diligent and look around and try to find causes that we can do our part, where we can help society, because there's always somebody that helped us, and we want to give it back.
Absolutely.
Yes. See, I stayed with a few foster parents in a different few foster homes before I was actually adopted. So I feel like I'm, was tremendously blessed because I was adopted by my great aunt.
Yeah, good.
And I was able to be with family. So, but for those who don't have family or don't know where to go after, they hit 18, I just want to be able to be that person to help them, find their way in this world.
Well, and everybody needs somebody to pull their coat. And that's what we do in the Book of Dad radio show. Is pull your coat. We give you great information. We give you great content. And I'm telling you, this is great content right here. So, Marilyn, Faye, why don't you do us a favor? Let us know how we can get in touch with you and how we can look at your stuff that you got going on. And then we'll see if you'll come back another time and talk with us.
Absolutely. Well, if you are a woman interested in being part of the body movement, you can reach out to us.
Hey, I am by default already.
You are? Yes. Well, yeah, you are by default. I don't know if you want to be the only man in the body group. But we do have a fan page for it's the Body Movement. It's just the Body Movement on Facebook, and you can check out the website at www.bodymovement.org. I can be reached on Instagram, Marilyn Faye, MarilynFaye. On Facebook, actress Marilyn Faye. And that's how you can reach out to me. I am always, doing affirmations. I love affirmations. In fact, I'll also leave you all with an affirmation this evening before we close out this interview.
Do tell.
Okay. You want me to do an affirmation right now?
Right now.
Yep.
All right. So I'll do an affirmation about vision. And I have the energy and passion to make my thoughts reality. I replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts. I see in my mind a clear picture of myself having already accomplished my own true goal. I am one with the power of the universe. My vision is perfect. My life purpose can be whatever I decide to make it. Life is a marathon, and I am the winner of my race. I am inspired with inner vision. I create it. I see it often. I ordain it. I manifest it, and I do myself achieve it. This is your girl, Marilyn Faye, the Affirmation Diva. Thank you all so much for having me on the line to speak with you today and all of your listeners.
Wow. Well, Eddie G, can we say it any better than that?
I can't even touch that, man.
All right. Hey, well, this has been the Book of Dad radio show, Life and Spirit Online, only on the NASCA Network. I've been hanging out with my main man, Eddie G, and the Affirmation Diva. And we will talk to you next time.
You can find out more about Robert Benson by visiting his website, thebookofdad.net, where you can purchase your own copies of Robert's books, The Book of Dad, Quotes for a Lifetime of Wisdom, and The Book of Dad 2, more quotes and anecdotes for a lifetime of wisdom.